Well, good evening, everyone. Hey, 606. That's pretty good. So thank you all for gathering in this room so quickly. So good evening, everyone. For those of you who I have not yet met, my name is Mark Bucheck. I am the commercial loan manager at Armco Credit Union and the 2023 chair of the Butler County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you here to this history-making event. And I'll explain why I refer to this evening in that manner in just a few moments. And forgive me, I'm going to have to put these on because I did not print these notes out large enough font. So, okay. So first of all, please feel free to enjoy your salads as we get started with our pre-dinner activities. And secondly, I would like to recognize and thank the sponsors of our annual dinner: Next Tier Bank, North Country Brewing Company, Slippery Rock University, Thompson Miller Funeral Home, Butler Pet Cremation, West Banco Bank, All About Reclaimed, Bonus Accounting, Alliance for Nonprofit Resources, Green Cabbage, Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau, Independence Health System, Butler Eagle, Edward Jones, Jeff Geibel, Tyler Newpole Films, C.W. Howard Insurance Agency, LIGO Architects, Mars Bank, Pennsylvania American Water, and Minuteman Press of Butler. How about a round of applause for our sponsors this evening? All right, I'm going to try it this way. Just step back a couple of steps. So tonight we celebrate multiple accomplishments from the 29 graduates of the 2022-2023 Leadership Butler County program to the recipients of our annual awards. The David L. Lloyd Chamber Business Champion, Mars Bank. The William A. Morgan Jr. Entrepreneur of the Year, Paul Keelan of Keelan Dental. And the Stan Kosciuszko Leadership Excellence Award, Butler County Commissioner Leslie Oshie. So funny thing, or maybe I should call it a strange coincidence, and this is 100% true. As I was going through some boxes at home, I found this. Hopefully you can all see that in the back. And then, there wasn't anything in it. It's good to have a can in there so you can actually see the label on the front. And then I found this. The one thing I didn't find was an Oshie branded can koozie. So Leslie, I know you're sitting at one of the front tables somewhere. So if you have one, I want one. If you don't, Jordan and I know somebody at the chamber that can hook you up with a couple. So we can work on that, right, Jordan? All right, so now, and I already spoke with him about this, I'm going to borrow something from Butler Mayor Bob Dandoy. And I told him it's not an object, but it's an interesting concept that is probably familiar to anyone that has gone through the Leadership Butler County program over the past number of years. And that concept, or better yet, a thought process, is history. When you hear the term history making, you most likely think of some major news event like the moon landing, perhaps a medical breakthrough, or maybe an athlete achieving some goal that has never been met before, something that even is record-breaking. But history doesn't always make the news, though it happens every day, on every level, both in our personal lives and in our businesses. So here are a few examples. So did you know that Mine Safety Appliances, MSA, may not be here today if it wasn't for the help of Thomas Edison? It took numerous tries and a lot of convincing, but it worked. And he helped create the electric cap lamp. That's history. Did you know that the Butler Farm Show started as a plowing contest in 1948 and just celebrated its 75th anniversary? And look at what it's grown to today. Pages of awards in the Butler Eagle. That event, and every year of that event, and those awards are history. A young man from Butler moved to Texas, then to North Carolina, before receiving a calling to return home and open a new business. That's a new chamber member, Tyler Skidmore, in Back Home Barbecue and Brew Co. And that's history. And by the way, Tyler also has a koozie. I have one for you, Jordan. And he also has a very good brisket sandwich. And I recommend the Uncle Dave sauce. It's really, really good. And if you got some time on Friday afternoon, the chamber is doing a ribbon cutting. History. So I did say that this, the other koozies and this koozie has a can in it. And if I pull this one out, you can see it's Firehouse, North Country Brewing. North Country Brewing obviously has a koozie. So did you know that when it was purchased, the building which houses North Country Brew Pub, which before even was purchased had a great history, was meant for another purpose? At the time, Slippery Rock was still a dry town. But after the purchase, that soon changed. So then the plans for the building changed. And Rooster's Coffee Bar had to wait. And it waited. And we waited. But now it's open and a marvelous addition to this area. I hear Brian laughing somewhere out there. And that's all history. Roosters does not have koozies because I checked. But they have some really cool coffee mugs. So pick up some. Another Butler County native left the area and is now back, taking something that was already considered historic and creating a new history. That's Brian Frenchek and Marina Frenchek. We all know the Penn Theater is part of history, and we all know the work that is being done there is going to be part of the history to come. It's an amazing project, and we all cannot wait until it's finished. A chamber affiliate organization, Butler County Young Professionals, just celebrated its 15th anniversary. You might have read that in today's Butler Eagle. That's history. We are in the process of forming a new affiliate organization, the Southern Butler County Business Association, which will make the Butler County Chamber of Commerce the largest in the area. That's history. Now, history is not always pleasant, but it's still history. Earlier this year, we lost an exceptional member of our chamber family, board member Daniel Swartz. Now, Dan and I shared some history as co-workers and also as graduates of the Leadership Butler County class of 2015. I was also reminded last week that Dan provided the football that serves as our Banker Fantasy Football Group trophy. It's been in use for well over a decade. Dan's love of the chamber and all things outdoors will be honored through a new annual chamber event, a clay shoot taking place next month. So that event will be historic in more ways than one. And at this time, I would ask you to join me in a moment of silence in Dan's memory. Thank you. So if you look at the chamber calendar events, and there are a lot of them, as you see on the Monday Minute email, there are both well-established and brand new opportunities for each one of you to be part of our history. I strongly encourage you to participate in as many as you can, maybe coffee club this Friday at the hotel, because each is a history-making event. So on page 4 of your program is a list of past chamber board chairs dating back to 1896. There are 94 names of individuals who served in this capacity and, while probably not in this very spot, probably addressed membership as I am doing right now. I am profoundly grateful for this opportunity. I forever get to be number 95. And for diehard Steeler fans, that was Greg Lloyd's number. And I thank each and every one of you for allowing me to be part of the history of the Butler County Chamber of Commerce. So now before Jordan pulls me off and tells me I'm history, here's a final koozie. And I'm going to crack this one open. So this is a toast from me to all of you this evening. Your presence at this dinner is now part of the history of the Butler County Chamber of Commerce and also part of your history. And as I wrote in a recent email to my fellow board members, onward and upward we go as we all enjoy the ongoing history of this great organization. Cheers. And with that, it is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium the president of the Butler County Chamber of Commerce, Jordan Grady. The podium is yours, sir. I don't have a Mark Bucheck koozie, but I got a big fat head up there.
You know, Mark, what's crazy is if you would have told me you were going to do this koozie thing, I think I have a Leslie Oshie beer mug in the back of my car still from her Oktoberfest. Could have made that happen. And I hope this is a nice reminder to stop taking pictures with me in public, because you will have a fat head made if you're ever speaking at an event. So, got to be a little honest this evening. I wrote a speech and I did my best to memorize it, but I'm also kind of taking a role in a play at a local theater that I got kind of suckered into. So everything I'm memorizing right now is actually those lines of the play. So if any of those come out at any time, I do apologize. So I'm going to go a little bit on script, a little bit off script. And I thought this was fitting to start it. Where's the Armstrong table? Where are you guys? There you go. Well, one of my good friends and golf companions is back there. His name is Joe Taylor. For those of you who don't know, Joe hits a perfect right down the middle fade off the tee box every time, and I'm so jealous. But he often says that your head is a lonely place, and only the game of golf should be in there. So here we are. But, Joe, I have just one note for you. My stunningly gorgeous better half, Adriana, who's sitting here, who doesn't know I'm going to shout her out here, she also lives there, so therefore my head can't be that bad of a place. So thank you, Adriana, for everything. I'm definitely better because of you, so thank you. How was that, Joe? Also, my big brother Ian came today, and he's the head basketball coach here at SRU. And he's a humble guy, but I'm not, so I'm going to brag about him for a little bit. He is the most winningest coach ever in this conference in his first 4 seasons here. And he's also one of the most winningest coaches in their first 4 seasons at SRU ever. Yeah, go Ian. In addition to that, he got suckered in and served 2 years as the Rotary president, helps with their National in Bloom contest every year. And he's really transformed the basketball program here to an academic-focused program that is very successful. So I'm going to forgive him for wearing a polo and khaki today, but I love you, Ian. Thanks for coming. What a year this was for all of us in this room. As most of you are aware, because I blatantly put it on every single social media post I do, and we also have it written in huge letters right on the chamber homepage, there's only one county that's growing in the quote-unquote Pittsburgh region. I'll go a little further and say not just the Pittsburgh region, but Western Pennsylvania in general. There's only one county that's growing. And again, I'll go a little bit further. There are only 6 counties in the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania growing, but one in particular is the fastest growing over the last 3 decades. Can anyone guess which county I'm talking about? Allegheny, yes. So No, definitely not them. I don't think anyone actually probably thought they were doing anything well, and that's not a shot at them, or maybe it is. But as you recall, Joe tells me my head's a lonely place, so there's some of that loneliness coming out tonight. So here's my question to you guys. Why? Why is Butler County finding success and the rest of the state isn't? Well, here's my answer, and I bet everyone in this room will probably agree. Common sense. I stand here tonight incredibly proud and fortunate to be the leader of the second largest chamber of commerce in Western Pennsylvania. But to be honest, my industry mentor is Jeff Catula in Washington County, and I hope this video clip never makes it to him. We're probably actually a little bigger, but I'm just being respectful. I'm also very proud to call Butler County home. I truly consider it one of the best places in the world to live, and I really mean that. I can't stress it enough. We're wrapping up a year for the chamber, and it's been a banner year for this organization. And I do have some of the highlights that I'll kind of read word for word here, so I don't miss any. We sold out the back alley at the State of the County. We sold out the steam fitters at our legislative breakfast. We had a waiting list of over 10 teams at the golf outing this year in just 2 weeks. This event sold out in less than a month. And of course, I was able to jerk Slippery Rock's chain a little bit, and we got to add 2 tables, so that was fun. We brought our free business training and seminars back this year, and they have been well received. Actually, where's Kenny Bonus? One of his he did with QuickBooks. That was definitely a packed house. Thanks, Kenny. What you don't know is I'm going to be asking you to do at least 4, if not 8 of them next year in a volunteer capacity. So thanks, Kenny. Our weekly networking coffee club, which I fought Mark Bucheck on. I did not want to do it. I said, I'm not having any part of it. Well, I stand here today willing to admit I was wrong. That worked out pretty well. You and Adriana run a pretty good show there. So congratulations on that. And our mixers have been well attended. We even saw over 100 people at our March event down in Cranberry. In addition, we reinvested nearly $15,000 of membership dues back into community organizations. And I put some other things here today, but whoever printed this must have printed it in font that doesn't work for my eyes either. So gonna have to talk to that guy who printed it. But again, I am incredibly thankful for everyone's support in this room. So please give yourself a round of applause, because we're truly building something special here. Also, we have several affiliates and boards associated with those affiliates. They're all listed in your program, but if you are here tonight, please stand up and be recognized. Not all at once. I know some of you are here. Yeah, if you're on one of the boards, stand up. Come on. Thank you so much. You guys do so much and never ask for anything in return. We have special boards, and that's why our programs are so strong. So thank you, guys. Okay, Mark, now it's my turn to take a few shots at you. I noted here that if you got reimbursed for all the calls we had this year, that you would be ready to retire. Also, there's a lot of stress and pressure associated with being the chair. And you totally rocked it. You had to be my best friend for a year. You had to come into the loneliness of my head. You did a good job, Mark. So thank you very much for your leadership. And you mistakenly volunteered to chair leadership. So now you're stuck with me for pretty much the rest of your working life. So looking forward to it. Yep, not a rumor. I just confirmed it. Also, we have staff. Did they make it into the room? Where's Jennifer? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to embarrass you guys too a little bit here. Jennifer, you came out to this dinner last year and volunteered to do the registration table. Did you realize that 1 week later we were going to call you and get you to come back and work for the Chamber of Commerce? Well, thank you very much. You hopped right into the fire with me. You came into a situation that wasn't necessarily the greatest, but you took it head on, and your 30-plus years of chamber experience has been invaluable. We are a stronger chamber because of your efforts, so thank you, Jennifer. How about a round of applause? And I'm going to guess the first thing she tells me tomorrow at the chamber office is, how much she hates me because I did that. But you deserve it, Jennifer. Now, Tanya Wise, our new operations manager. Let me tell you the first interaction I had with Tanya. So I'm willing to admit I missed the first interview. I was at a golf outing, so I missed the first one. Sorry, Tanya. But the second one I did set through, and I don't think I'll ever set through another interview again where the person being interviewed actually starts cleaning and organizing the office and stuff right in front of her. That was classic, Tanya. You've made a huge mark, and you are such a good fit for this job. And most importantly, I can't thank you enough for giving me a life outside of work back. That's something I didn't think I may have ever see again. So thank you very much. I'd like to say Jennifer and Tanya would come up here and say nice things about me, but I'm not going to leave that one up to chance there. But thanks again for all of your support, and we are definitely moving in the right direction with you too. I also want to mention our summer intern that we got by total fluke. A lot of you realized our digital presence kind of took an uptick in the summer. I received a call from a local eye doctor, Dr. Mike Dittman, and he asked me if there was any chamber members who needed a marketing intern for the summer. Well, we needed a marketing intern. And I'm proud to say that we beat out a company in, Houston and Miami to get Kira Dittman, who is now in grad school studying abroad in Portugal, but she really did change the face of our digital presence. So she's not here, so you can still clap for her, but she really made a difference. I'd also like to thank the elected officials in attendance tonight, and they provided citations for the award winners too. We have State Senators Elder Vogel and Scott Hutchinson. We have State Reps Marcy Mostello, Stephanie Shalaba, and Tim Bonner. We have our county commissioners, Leslie Oshie, Kim Geyer, and Kevin Boozle. We have the Butler County District Attorney, Rich Goldinger. And we have the City of Butler Mayor, Bob Dandoy. And if you were missed, take it up with Tanya. So to leave you guys, it looks like I even wrote here, instead of leaving you with something cheesy and heartfelt, I'd like to recap some of the great moments of the year. And there are a lot of them, but I tried to highlight one per month. And we got started off with an absolute bang. In January, new board member, whose name is Jeff Double, introduced himself in his first board meeting ever as Jeff Double, and I'm kind of an asshole. That was in January. In February, Mark Bucheck had an illness and missed the February board meeting. Well, we checked the 127-year history of the chamber. That was the most efficient board meeting we ever had. Some of these things I left out in the copy I gave to the group because I knew they probably would have said something about it. But actually, Kenny Bonus made me say that one since he led the meeting. So in March, we broke the fire code at Recon Brewing in Cranberry. Dan Santoro is here tonight, so hopefully he didn't hear that. Let's see. In May, I got sick literally the night before and then lost my voice the next morning right before our legislative breakfast. Jury's still out if that was good or bad, but after those comments I made about Mark, if you ask him, he's probably going to say it was a good thing I couldn't talk that day. In June, we sold an incredible 170 hole sponsorships at our golf outing. A lot of those are in the room today, so thank you very much for that turnout with the golf outing. In July, we had Mayor Bob Dandoy and Commissioner Leslie Oshie perform live at Lobster Fest, and haven't had to use it yet, but just FYI, I got a lot of blackmail on you too. Just like Mark mentioned, our young professionals celebrated 15 years anniversary in August, and we also hosted with Marcy Mostello's office a joint family fun night where we saw nearly 1,500 people come through the door. And next week, our record high for leadership participants, 36, will begin their year-long journey. In October, our young professionals will have their Ghouls for Good free Halloween costume shop set up for the 8th year. And I'm sure there's a lot of fireworks still to happen between now and December 31st, so maybe next year's recap will even be better. I do want to double down on one thing, though. With everything going on, with the chamber growing, with a lot of the organizations in this room growing, and the county obviously growing, I just want to make sure everyone knows that I will always be 100% all in, and I'm very proud to be the president and so very thankful to have such a great group of professionals to work with every day, so thank you very much. And now I'm going to turn the mic back over to the Leadership Butler County Board Chair, effective 5 minutes ago, Mark Bucheck, for the graduation.
All right, thanks, Jordan. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of Leadership Butler County, it is my pleasure to announce the graduates of the class of 2023. Before I do so, I do want to acknowledge and thank Charlie Johns for his many years of service as leadership chair. Charlie has been and will continue to be an integral part of this program. He's a good friend to both myself and many people in this room, and his hard work and dedication to this program is very much appreciated. So as you can see from the lineup along the wall, this was a very large class. You probably have seen some of them at various events around the county, as the class has been very visible this year, and their class project will benefit multiple recipients. The Leadership Butler County session calendar expanded by a day this year to incorporate a new session, Agriculture Day, a suggestion by the 2022 class. So they were very, very busy with 12 sessions over 13 days total. And I want to set the record straight for those of you who saw the pictures on Facebook. The alpaca kissed me. I did not kiss the alpaca. So for a recap of the past year, please direct your attention to the screens.
Leadership Butler County is a year-long program comprised of local leaders who either work in or live in Butler County. It brings together individuals who would not typically cross paths, which leads to new ideas, new innovations that not only improve the individual, the employers, but the county as a whole.
The Leadership Butler County plays a very vital role in community development. It gives participants the chance to make an impact, get exposed to the challenges and opportunities, and leave their mark to be part of the solution for a better Butler County. The class decided to take on multiple projects and they pulled it off. What they did was miraculous, and I think you'll see that in their impact, which I believe will last forever.
The two class projects we worked on this year was in Moraine State Park, McDaniel's Launch, Pavilion number 7. We have taken a bulk of the funds that we've raised and we're turning that into an all-season shelter that can be used for educational, recreational purposes. And we've also partnered up with Inspired Hearts and Hands. They serve the underserved population with backpacks, food, different supplies that people in need might need. And so we've collected donations for like t-shirts, socks, things like that.
Leadership Butler County provided us with a ton of support this past year. Everything from collecting socks, toiletries, personal care items, and cereal. Really just an amazing support group for us as we prepared for our Kids Equipped Summerfest program, as well as our Easter meal box distributions. The individuals there had a real commitment and a real drive to want to make a difference. Those are the kind of people and the kind of resources that a nonprofit such as Inspired Hearts and Hands need. And Leadership Butler County was just that to us. They were just a new resource for us to really connect with the community and to grow not only our reach, but also our impact throughout the county. I would just like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Leadership Butler County class. I truly hope that this is an opportunity to work even more extensively as we go forward. I honestly just can't tell you how valuable that was to me. It's hard to express in words.
So now it's my pleasure to introduce and present to you the graduates of the Leadership Butler County class of 2023. Rhiannon Barron, Butler County Community College. Josh Boozle, Bonus Accounting. I wonder who took my beers out of here, and it was that table. Shayna Clancy on behalf of VA Butler Healthcare. Jack Cohen, Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau. Jen Croft, Meyer Dussel. Connor Dugan, Calumet. Nicole Flieger, VA Butler Healthcare. Sarah Free on behalf of Northwest Bank. Julie Gehagen, Next Tier Bank. Dawn Halley, Glade Run Lutheran Services. Alita Hannawalt, United States Office of Personnel Management. Heather Hoke, County of Butler. Adam Jameson, Mars Bank. Christine Karshen, Slippery Rock University. Jen Klein, Mars Bank. Amanda McElhenney, United States Office of Personnel Management. Matt Netzel, Armstrong. Nick Ritzert, Armstrong. Demi Rossman, Next Tier Bank. Madison Roxbury, Weddings at Eisler Farms. Stacy Sherrick, UPMC Health Plan. Mary Kate Scott, HF Sinclair. Cody Slater, Alliance for Nonprofit Resources. Brittany Spear, Coherent. Sierra Spence, Independence Health System. Kathy Strobel, Butler County Community College. Alyssa Vorel, Ellen O'Brien Geyser Center. Samantha Weiland, United States Office of Personnel Management. Diane Yasika, HF Sinclair. Ladies and gentlemen, the Leadership Butler County class of 2023. And now I'd like to welcome to the podium Cody Slater, one of the class co-chairs, to deliver the class speech. Cody.
Thank you, Mark. We're all together for a meal, and the lights are on. We started from the bottom, now we're here. Good evening, that's tough. And thank you for being here. My name is Cody Slater, and I have the honor of being the chair of the 2023 Leadership Butler County class. We have a class full of distinguished, well-spoken, and articulate individuals. You're getting me instead. Our class was ambitious. Where others saw one project as enough, we said, nah, let's take on 3. Where prior classes had the advantages of plumbing and electricity for their murder mystery dinner, we operated with a more rustic, smaller carbon footprint approach. Our class chose the renovation of Pavilion 7 at Moraine State Park as our primary project, though we are still waiting to get our our fingernails dirty, we will be transforming and helping provide the very first year-round education center in Moraine State Park. Our secondary projects were providing office furniture and supplies, as well as bus passes to Robin's Home, a local nonprofit helping female veterans. We also collected over 400 boxes of cereal, more than 300 pairs of socks, and countless other toiletries for Inspired Hearts and Hands, an organization doing great things for local disadvantaged youths. We are able to be as ambitious as we were because of our many generous sponsors, notably Butler County Tourism and Armstrong Cable. Thank you. Your donations helped make what we're trying to do possible. Over the course of this last year, our class was incredibly active. We were elves at Preston Park, Smokey the Bear at Winterfest. We manned the Chamber booth at Jeep Fest, Cranberry Township Days, the Moraine Regatta, as well as plenty of other Butler County Chamber of Commerce events. In fact, we logged over 220 hours of time within these events. We are a class of 29, or was it 30, leaders within Butler County. Through our year together, we have made memories that will be forever cherished, friendships that will last, and business connections that will not only enrich the individuals or organizations, but the county as a whole. When our projects are completed, we have left this county better than when we inherited it. To the leadership board members, thank you. Thank you for your dedication, your time, your experience, your belief in us. Thank you for your guidance. To the artist known as the #bowtie business guy, Jordan Grady, thank you for all you've done for the county. Thank you for making sure all of this continues to happen, for giving our class a chance to make our mark, to learn about our county, its potential, and our potential. None of this here tonight is possible without you. As a token of our gratitude, we will be presenting you with some parting gifts, a couple to remember us by, and one that might help you forget a thing or two. We did it, guys. Thank you for electing me to be your chair and to give this speech. It's truly, truly an honor. Thank you, Heather, for your insane organization skills and dedication to the events. You just insane. Thank you, Dawn and Madison, for organizing and adapting to a murder mystery dinner that didn't have power. Was it 2 hours before we were supposed to start that thing? Great job. Diane, you spearheaded and knocked bingo out of the park. Thank you. Thank you, definitely not Shayna, for being the well thought out and professional co-chair to my a bit more impromptu off the cuff style. I could continue, but I was told multiple times I had a hard 3-minute limit. Thank you all. Thank you all for your persistence, the laughs, and the experience. To the classes before us, we say thank you. Thank you for building a legacy that is Leadership Butler County. To next year's class, sorry guys, but congratulations on the opportunity to build upon the tradition that is this amazing program, and good luck. Thank you. Shanna? We would like to take this opportunity as a class to thank each of the individual board members for just always being there for us, guiding us, and answering any questions that we had. Amber Davis, if you could come to the stage.
I'll meet you.
Sue Kushneret, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Steve Green. Karen Dunn. Mark Bucheck. Mackenzie Heineman. You. Autumn Patterson. Deneen O'Donnell. Marlene Myers. I'm so sorry. Amy Pignatori. Right? Hannah Shannon. Kelly Bailey. Mindy Dirkley. And Charlie Johns. And finally, as a class as a whole, Jordan. Thank you, sir.
You guys have to pack it so tight? Jeez.
Yes.
Really? You taped it and everything? All right. Something else in there, too. What is this? Oh, that was very thoughtful of you guys. It's a signed basketball.
Two more things.
Who wrapped this? I have no idea. Oh, a leadership bow tie. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations. Yeah, your pictures after. This was a great group, and they definitely pulled a fast one. We told them 3 minutes, so naturally they decided to add something that took 10 minutes more. So if I bet you season tickets to the SRU men's basketball team that we'd be over at 8, that deal's now off. It was seriously a great group to work with, and when I got the call from Dawn about the power being out at the atrium, I didn't even hesitate. I just said, cancel it. I also said something in between there that had to be bleeped out, but she wouldn't let me cancel it, and they pulled it off, and we actually had someone there that soldered a wire to get electric and plumbing. So that was once in a lifetime. So congratulations to all of you. I will now ask for Dr. Nick Neuapuaer, the inaugural recipient of the Stan Kosciuszko Leadership Excellence Award, to the stage to introduce this year's winner.
Good evening. Kenny freaking Pickett. That's what Mike Tomlin said at the end of a last-minute drive to beat the dreaded Raiders on Christmas Eve. In that spirit, I would like to start this speech by uttering the following: Stan freaking Kosciuszko. That literally gives me goosebumps, a smile, and great pride as the inaugural recipient of the Stan Kosciuszko Leadership Excellence Award. That award goes to a graduate of the Chamber's Hallmark Leadership Butler County program and to a person who has shown outstanding leadership. Without question, this year's recipient, Commissioner Leslie Oshie, has demonstrated her leadership skills time and time again. And of course, Stan is very proud of this year's recipient. So if you would allow me to read some of Leslie's bio very quickly. As chair of the Board of Commissioners for the County of Butler, Leslie serves on the chair of the board of the Southwest PA Commission, on the boards of RIDC, Tri-County Workforce Investment, and the CDC, represents the commissioners on the Children and Youth Parks and Recreation, Aging Advisory Committee, and the 911 Communications Council. She also served as treasurer of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. As commissioner, she and her fellow board members successfully secured 2 major federal transportation grants to advance the Gateway 228 corridor. And as a person who takes that every day to work, I know I'm speaking for a lot of people. We are grateful. Developed a county infrastructure bank and launched the Butler County Growth Collaborative for Economic Development under our great leader, Mark Gordon. A graduate of Butler High and Duquesne University, Oshie is a Paul Harris Fellow with the Rotary Club of Butler and the recipient of multiple awards for community service. And you can read the program for Leslie's terrific experience over 3 decades in nonprofit leadership. Most importantly, Leslie resides in Butler Township with her husband, Jim. They have 2 sons, one who works in law enforcement and the other in the film industry. And I know I speak for the entire county, region, Commonwealth, that Leslie, your son, and family have been in our prayers, and those are continued prayers for the Oshie family. I am honored to introduce the 2023 Kosciuszko Leadership Excellence Award winner, Commissioner Leslie Oshie.
I'm usually not speechless. So first of all, it is such an honor to share this with Nick and to be selected by Nick and Stan. You're such an inspiration, Stan. You fought back, right? So it's a good thing I know that now, right? And I am so proud of the Leadership Butler County program in general, and so grateful to work for such an amazing community. I can go back and think about Leadership Butler County, first of all, because that's really what this is about. And remember the day that before this came under the chamber, it was an independent entity, and we were sitting around a table at the Butler County Children's Center. And I have to give a shout out to Alice Nunes, who isn't here, but Alice and I were going through a process trying to figure out how to keep the program alive and keep it moving, and enter Stan and the chamber. And Stan came to the chamber shortly after I took the position at United Way. And he took leadership under its wing. And when I see how many wonderful graduates there are of this program, it's so inspiring, and I am so grateful to the employers who support it, because you build these relationships, and that is why this county is so amazing. And you deserve the applause for that, because it's an amazing county. And to watch it grow, through the years, very proud of my Maria. Where are you, Maria? And her class, who started the youth leadership program, which was something we had envisioned, for many years. And now to introduce Jen Beers, who's the director of the Pittsburgh program, to Jordan, and to stand in Recon that night and see regional chambers gather together gave me chills, and I was thrilled and proud of Jordan, you and your group, and what you've been able to do regionally as well. And even tonight, to see Alyssa. I know your story too. Knew her when she was little. To see her graduate makes me so proud. So proud of you. So, I also want to thank my colleagues, Kim and Kevin. Couldn't work with 2 better people. And the gang at the county, amazing group of people. And finally, I want to none of what we do is without family. I want to thank my big sister Kathy and my niece Shelly for coming with me tonight, since Jim and Josh and Nathan could not be here with me. And I want to thank Vicki and Steve, my adopted sis and brother-in-law, for coming along as well. I don't ever do this without Jim beside me. But I gotta have to tell you that in this very quiet moment at the hospital, Josh said to me, you know, Mom, I've learned that it's never about us. It's always about somebody else and about that service. And this is minor. These parts will all get fixed. You know, I'm going to come back and it'll be fine. And that's what we do. We serve. We want to serve, and that's who we are. That's what we're going to do. I said, okay. And he said, well, what I know is that our shift is never over. Our shift is never over. And he said that because even as he was crawling off the highway, he was calling in his own call, like, which I would expect him to do. But just really amazing inspiration. My husband and my two sons, and I wish they could have been here because it's a team. We come as a team, and I'm so proud of them and proud to be a wife and a mom with both of them. And your life, you just never know here. Life changes in a heartbeat. But without all of you, and for, we know you all know that. You've all experienced all these things. So I'm just very grateful to be part of this county and part of this community. And just to give you a little chuckle, the three of us yesterday were trying to move him. And he said, you know, the problem is y'all want to be boss here. Somebody's got to be in charge. And so the man in the bed is now giving commands because otherwise it would have been a cluster. but nonetheless, Stan, I'm very grateful. Nick, very grateful. Very grateful to this amazing county. And you give yourselves a hand of applause. And I will accept this on behalf of my family who makes this all possible. So thank you.
This big clock to take back with you. Before I turn this over to Tyler with Neuapuaer Films, we tricked Leslie into getting on a Zoom call to talk about the youth leadership program. But when she got on, she realized it was Dr. Neuapuaer and Stan to tell her she had won the award. And here's the type of person Leslie is. About 10 minutes later, I'm getting ready to tee off probably on some golf course. Leslie's calling me, hey, we got to do this youth leadership call because, you know, this is important. So she prioritized that even after the fact where she had been notified of the award. So thank you, Leslie, for all you do. And I'll direct your attention to the screen for a short film.
Commissioner Oshie, perhaps more than any person I've ever met, really exemplifies that motto from the Rotary, and that is service above self. Leslie is always about the betterment of the community as well as putting others above herself.
13 years ago, I attended a meeting with Commissioner Oshie and several other leaders in the Butler County community. Leslie was the only female leader sitting at that table.
If it wasn't for the inspirational leadership that Commissioner Oshie provides, we would become stagnant in where we are. She always inspires us to go to that next level or look at what the next step is.
Not only have I always respected Leslie for her leadership abilities, but also for her ability to develop other leaders.
Leadership is sometimes a challenge. Sometimes it can be a challenge because You're trying so hard to inspire other people to move forward and make good decisions. I think I probably have more convenings under my belt than many people, always trying to hear from diverse audiences and diverse factions of our community in order to make good decisions about moving forward. I keep this saying on my desk, and it says, "Power should never be given to those who seek it. Instead, it should be placed upon the reluctant shoulders of those who know what a burden it is." It's not about power, it's about empowering others.
Commissioner Oshie is innovative, incredibly focused in collaborations. She is everything that I would expect in a leader and a leader that I would want to follow.
She cares so much about the community that she works day and night on all kinds of different projects that will improve Butler County and make it a better place to live and work.
Congratulations, Commissioner Oshie. You definitely deserve this award. I look forward to working with you for more and more years.
Leslie, I am so proud. And you know, in my heart, I congratulate you. I appreciate you.
Congratulations, Commissioner Oshie. I can't think of anybody else that deserves this more.
I am really excited and looking forward to seeing Butler City thrive again, and I believe that this is going to be the best place in the country to live, work, and play.
So we'll now have a brief intermission. They're going to set the foods back out, and then we will get going. But before we do eat, I'm going to have my dear friend, Mr. Glenn Miller, come up from Thompson Miller Funeral Home to give the invocation. Thank you for being here tonight, Glenn.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please stand. Please stand. We will recite the pledge first. As we recite it, let's think about all of those people who have done things miraculous to give us the freedom that we all know and enjoy. Following that, I'll give the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads. Most glorious and gracious God, we come to you tonight seeking your blessing upon our community and all who are here. We pause to give you thanks for the infinite blessings you have given us. Tonight, we, the Butler County Chamber of Commerce, are here representing unique businesses. Affiliation in this group means that we have the ability to make choices. Please grant us the wisdom to make choices that will contribute towards our community's growth and success. We ask your blessing upon the work of the Butler County Community Commerce, its board of directors, Jordan, his staff, his volunteers, and all of the membership. We are thankful for the continued commitment of everyone here tonight and their commitment to each other and our chamber. Dear Lord, we thank you tonight for bringing us together to honor the hard work and dedication of tonight's reward recipients. We honor Mars Bank, Dr. Paul Keelan, and Commissioner Leslie Oshie. Help us to remember you created them and granted them talent, and the glory belongs to you. Thank you for the friends and family who are here tonight in support and encouragement of each of these recipients. We honor their love and commitment in the background that got them here. We also thank you, Lord, for each member of the Leadership Butler County class. We celebrate their commitment and dedication that has brought them to this place. Thank you for leading them in the learning of Butler County and keeping them safe in their travels traversing our county. We pray that tonight's award recipients and the leadership graduates may feel proud of their achievements. In closing, Lord, we ask for your blessing on this food. Bless those who put themselves in harm's way for our protection. Guide our thoughts and decisions, and give us peace and happiness that only comes from you. We pray all of this in the name of the Father, and your Son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen. Please be seated. Thank you.
Continue to eat. First of all, how about a round of applause for the staff tonight and the meal, for all their hard work. Also, I do have a shameless plug. There are stacks of business-size cards in your table somewhere. That is for our Women Shaping Our Region event coming up, and we have one of the panelists here, and she's also the new president of Slippery Rock University with us tonight. So Dr. Karen Riley is here. Could you please stand and be recognized, Dr. Riley? And the card is a bit small. It looked a lot larger on my laptop when I approved it. So sorry about that. But now I would like to ask Mr. Jeff Double with All About Reclaimed, last year's Entrepreneur of the Year, to introduce this year's winner. Jeff?
Should I be worried? No, you should not be worried. Actually, Mary Jane's back from the bathroom. Well, that was the end of that idea. Okay, so I would like to thank you all for coming this evening and being here. I'd like to really kind of quickly introduce myself and let you know how the Butler Chamber has changed my life, my business life, and our commitment to the area. 10 years ago, on the 18th of August, Mary Jane and I set forward to create a new business. We had been doing weddings and events for 20 years prior to that and working full-time, and we made the choice of starting our own. And in a 6-week period, I quit my job, sold our home, moved to Butler, started a business, and ended up in Butler Healthcare. But in the past 10 years, our business has grown and developed exponentially. It's been a wonderful experience. Last year, when I was, as Jordan will tell you, unanimously voted Entrepreneur of the Year, because I did what I needed to do. The reason that I won that award was because I went to work during COVID. I kept my staff working, and because the government had shut us down, I went to R.W. McDonald's and sold furniture for an exact year, from May 18th to May 18th. And being recognized for doing what I needed to do with a work ethic that my dad had set in stone with all 3 of us sons, it was nothing extraordinary for me. It was just what I had to do. And in the last year, with winning that award, I am now on the board of directors for Robin's Home, the women's shelter for veterans in Butler. I am also on the board of directors for the Butler Historical Society, not because I'm old, because I like old things. And third, I'm on the board of directors for the Butler Chamber of Commerce, which I would have absolutely never believed that would ever see the light of day. There's one gentleman in this room who has known me for a long time, and he would have told you 50-some years ago that Jeff Double was an introvert, but a dedicated human being. And because of the support from this room and the community, I have been able to achieve what I've achieved. So I'd like to thank you for the award last year, and I hope that I have made the Chamber proud in the last year winning that award and moving forward with my business and my commitment to the community. Now to kind of go over Dr. Paul Keelan's high points of his life. I met Paul and Mary Kay a number of years ago and was blessed to find out that these people were doing something that nobody else in our community was doing, and that was creating a free dental care program here in the community. And I was enamored with that. I thought, wow, how does a professional take what he does for a living and getting paid for it and turn it around and give it away to the community and still make it go? Well, after 10 years of business and a year in the chamber, I figured it out. You know, it's more important to give than it is to receive. And Mary Kay and Paul have been just amazing at that. And they're one of those couples that I look up to as a businessman and as a basic human being. If you're able to take your talents and give them away and still be successful, you've done something pretty amazing. I have Dr. Keelan's bio here. I'm usually not at a loss for words, but when you're sitting in front of 350 people who you respect and admire, it's really hard to catch your words. Improving smiles, improving lives is what Dr. Keelan is passionate about. His education and 30 years of experience provide him with a strong foundation to help and improve your oral health and well-being. Dr. Keelan is an Ivy League graduate of the University of Pennsylvania School of Dental Medicine. In 1989, since 1989, he has been serving Butler County for nearly 30 years. His experience in implant technology, IV conscious sedation, cosmetic dentistry, and crown and bridge work has made him well known in Western Pennsylvania. Dr. Keelan's standard of excellence in patient care extends throughout his office. His team is highly trained, professional in providing quality, compassionate care individuals of all ages. One of the nicest things that I've learned about Dr. Keelan's office is their weekly giveaways and their interaction with their patients once they leave the office. There's a lot of professionals out there that once you leave the office, your connection to them is over. And they take the time to do an incredible social media presence and give back to their patients. That's one of those things that I admire about them and about him and his staff. We were lucky enough to be joining with Dr. Keelan and Mary Kay last night for dinner, and they were talking about the team building programs that they use when they hire a new employee. And as we all know, if you own a business or work anywhere, it is so hard at this point to find employees. But to take the time to do team building strategies and hire the right people for the right position, again, is another reason why Dr. Keelan is the Entrepreneur of the Year. Okay, we're going to go now to the video.
As far as my thoughts regarding Dr. Keelan as a dentist, he's just the best. I'll keep it simple.
One of the things that really stands out to me about Dr. Keelan is that his staff doesn't view him as a boss, they view him as a mentor.
He has a softness about him that really speaks to his demeanor. He is phenomenal with patients and individuals and really brings a calmness to the room whenever he's there.
Dr. Keelan has so much compassion, not only for dentistry, but for his team as well.
We've been through a lot together, so it's pretty exciting. And he's deserving of it. Yeah, so for sure.
My name is Paul Keelan. I'm the owner of Keelan Dental. I've been in Butler now for nearly 30 years, and I've just built some very special relationships. The things that appeal to me about dentistry, certainly the patient interaction, that I get to use my hands, is very rewarding. You see the same patients usually twice a year, and you get to build relationships. I dedicated the early parts of my career to learning clinical skills, and really about 10 years ago I made a pivot and decided that I needed to really focus on the business of dentistry, and our goal was to just blow people away with the customer service that they received. So they made that pivot to really understand the business of dentistry and how you grow a business. We created something we call the impact diagram. So what impact was my practice going to have, not just on the one-on-one with my patients, but now what kind of impact could I have on my community, but not just in a clinical perspective, but how can I touch their lives? How can I be important in their life? It's really about having an open mind, looking at ways to grow your business and bringing up people with you.
I'd like to congratulate Dr. Keelan on this award. I can't think of another individual who is more deserving of it.
Dr. Keelan, I want to congratulate you for this award. I could not imagine a more deserving person to get this award. So congratulations.
Dr. Keelan, I'm just so happy for you that you are being recognized and honored. You are very deserving of this award, and I'm cheering for you.
Congratulations, Dr. Keelan. You deserve it.
You've established an amazing practice with an amazing group of people, and I'm happy to be a part of that and excited to see what's to come. So congratulations.
I love when a patient can know me for 30 years and see how big we've grown and how proud they are of what we've accomplished, and be able to refer their friends and family because, again, they're just proud to be a part of our Keelan family.
It's a great honor for me to introduce the William Morgan Jr. Entrepreneur of the Year for the Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Keelan.
Better warn you all now, I tend to cry at these kinds of things. So let me begin by saying thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. I was so surprised and humbled when Jordan and Mark called me to tell me that I had received this award. It just blew me away. And I think it's safe to say that most people do not place the word entrepreneur and dentist in the same sentence. And I know I certainly did not go into dentistry to become a businessman, or I might add, a public speaker. I was drawn to the art and science of dentistry, the use of my mind and my hands to help heal people. And I've been practicing for 34 years now, and I spent the first 20 years of my life just passionately studying and learning more knowledge and more skills in dentistry to become the best clinician that I could be. And about 10 years ago, a thought kept gnawing at me that there had to be more to my profession than just clinical excellence. And those of you who know me personally would understand when I say that I felt the Holy Spirit nudging me to take my life and Keelan Dental to an even higher level of service. 3 events in particular changed the trajectory of Keelan Dental. When we started as a small 1 doctor, 1 hygienist office with three staff members, to now having 6 doctors, 11 hygienists, and close to 45 team members. And the first event was a meeting I had in Seattle, and I met a man named DeWitt Jones, and DeWitt was talking about the difference between success and significance. And to paraphrase him, there's a huge difference between being the best dentist in the world and being the best dentist for the world. And that got me to thinking about how I could use my practice to be more impactful outside the 4 walls of my dental practice. And the second event that occurred on this journey was hearing a coach at a Promise Keepers event in Pittsburgh. And he said, the mark of a true leader is not the amount of fruit that they grow on their own tree, but rather the amount of fruit they grow on other people's trees. And so I felt if Keelan Dental was to be significant, it was not just going to be from me growing and learning more, nurturing my own tree, but from taking all that I had learned and growing other people so that they could bear more fruit. The final catalyst in growing my practice was meeting a gentleman by the name of Jay Geyer, who has been my mentor for the past 10 years. And I owe him a great debt of gratitude. He helped me weave together the vision that would become Keelan Dental today. And one of the key things that he enabled me to see was that it was not my dental practice, that it was God's dental practice, and God had given it to me to steward it. And a steward's job is to fiercely protect and grow the master's assets. And it's through these individuals and much prayer that I began to build a business that would impact more than just the patients, the handful of patients that I was seeing each day. About 8 years ago, I took a huge leap of faith with the gentle nudging of my wife, and we bought the old broken down McDonald's on Newcastle Road. We tore it to the ground and built the biggest building that a bank would lend me money to build. Most people thought we were crazy, and I did too. But when I started my first practice in Butler, we were in a little brick building down by the YMCA. We had 2 treatment rooms, and my laboratory was actually a closet we just took the door off of. And our main office now is over 7,000 square feet. We have 15 treatment suites. We used to average 5 new patients a month, and now we see over 175 new patients a month. And now that we've used every square inch of that building, we opened another office down at Middlesex Crossing at the intersection of Route 8 and 228. And this office has an additional 11 treatment suites. But to reiterate, my goal was not just to grow the practice, but to impact people's lives. And one of those things that was important to me was impacting people in my community. And so when we built both of our offices, we used local contractors, electricians, plumbers, a local architect. He happened to be my cousin, but he was from Butler. And since 2014, as Jeff had mentioned, we've had multiple dentistry from the heart events, and these free care days have provided over $180,000 in free dental care for those in need in our community. And we provide opportunities for my team, who I would like to acknowledge. Today they surprised me showing up today. Thank you. But we together we've created a culture where our workplace is fun, enjoyable, and rewarding. And my goal is to give these men and women who work for me an opportunity to have a career, not just a job at Keelan Dental. Let's face it, most people are not really crazy about going to the dentist, and it just does not have to be that way. And our vision statement is, through smiles and service, we touch people's lives so that they may proudly smile back at us. We are Smile Certified. So it is an honor to be the steward of Keelan Dental, and I thank you for acknowledging me and my team and for our impact on our community of Butler. So thank you very much.
So I got a text message today from someone who couldn't make it this evening, but it's a patient who recently got some care from your practice. I'm not allowed to say who it is, but I can tell you after the fact. So I'm going to read this message word for word here. All I will say is, he's the best dentist I have ever had. He extracted 4 teeth and installed an implant, and even though I was unable to eat solid food, I was back at work the very next day. I congratulated him. I told him I would be a testimony because I've had issues everywhere I went, but not there. They're just the best. Hold on, there's some other stuff here. Oh, this is where he tells me not to say his name, but to tell you after. And he also reminded me not to cuss. But seriously, tell him I said thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've been through the roller coaster of dentists in our region, and the care I received at Keelan is second to none, and I am so thankful that I decided to walk through the door and book an appointment. That was just today. Also, one reminder to the award winners and the leadership graduates: as soon as this is over, do not go anywhere. Come to the front for pictures. And the elected officials, we'd like to invite you to come too. So please, before people bombard you and you start talking, come up for a picture. I don't want to pay Shane an extra hour. By the way, how about a shout out for Shane over here, our photographer this evening. He does excellent work. Thank you, Shane. So now I'll ask my good friend and chamber board member, Stephen Green, to the stage for the chamber champion presentation. The floor's all yours, buddy.
All right, thank you. Giving me a microphone is a dangerous thing. Jordan, where's the notes? Oh, thank goodness. You know, it's funny. We had a dinner before the dinner last evening, and we all agreed not to ad-lib and to go very quickly, and I'm a rule follower, so we'll continue. Now, I did talk with Stan prior to coming up here before the event, and he told me to amend this a little bit. Gave me some suggestions. Stan, I usually follow your guidance. It's probably not a good idea. So we're just going to, okay? All right. Since its founding in 1900, is this 8 font? Holy cow. Whew. No, I think good. Since its founding in 1900, Mars Bank has invested in and supported the communities in our county and region, serving primarily Butler, Allegheny, Beaver, and Mercer counties. Mars Bank has provided safe and secure banking products and services built on relationships and supported by technology. Last week, it was announced that Mars Bank will be joining another chamber winner, Next Tier Bank, in early 2024. The combined Next Tier Bank will ensure Butler County will continue to enjoy relationship-focused community banking long into the future. Jim Deneau, I practiced this like 5 times. I don't know how many times people have screwed up his name. Sorry, Jim. All right. Jim served as president and chief executive officer of Mars Bank, and he also served on the board of directors of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh, and formerly was chair of Pennsylvania Bankers Association Board of Directors. He is passionate about the value and impact of community banking and is committed to advocacy for community banks on a state and national level. Jim has served with many charitable and community boards and is a Rotarian. I believe you're a Rotarian president at the same time as I was, Jim. Please direct your attention to the video.
So in 1900, a couple of founding families found it important to start a bank, and the rest is history. For 120 some years, we've been meeting those needs and expanding further into Butler County. Customers choose Mars Bank for a variety of reasons. We're locally owned. We've been embedded in our communities for a very long time, but maybe most importantly, because we develop and care about having relationships and really knowing our customers.
Mars Bank supports the community in a number of ways. We provide donations and funding for charitable and community organizations. Our management and staff provides expertise and time serving on boards as well as committees. And in 2022, our staff management served over 3,500 hours in the community. Our donations totaled over $250,000 and supported emergency needs, education needs, and other community organizations. And the bank sponsored and promoted 15 of its own events and activities for our staff and customers to be involved with.
I love that Mars Bank gives us these opportunities to volunteer and serve in our community while growing professionally. The support that they give all of us is overwhelming.
We're very humbled and we appreciate the recognition. The partnership with the Chamber has been outstanding. Both organizations have been better as a result of it. We make a bigger difference as a team and working together. And frankly, our communities and our customers are the beneficiary of that great partnership.
Terrific. By the way, it's Jim Dionis. Dionis. Quit messing up his name, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 David Lloyd Chamber Champion, Mars Bank.
Now I'm really confused because I'm not even sure who I am at this point, but the real trick will be 10 minutes from now. Thank you so much. We are truly honored and humbled by this recognition. No one likes to be recognized. We just like to get things done. On behalf of the Board of Directors management team and the outstanding staff of Mars Bank, thank you for this Chamber Champion Award. Mars Bank believes in and supports this chamber because we are on a common journey to be part of what helps Butler County and the surrounding communities grow and prosper. As mentioned in the video, for over 120 years, Mars Bank has invested in the individuals, families, businesses, and civic and charitable organizations of our communities. This award is testimony to the hard work of our staff and management, where they have made relationships, integrity, commitment, service, and teamwork a priority. We strongly believe in the community banking model and its positive impact on the people, organizations, and communities that we serve. As we enter a new chapter, joining with Next Tier Bank, the legacy of our personalized service and solutions will continue, and I firmly and strongly know that to be the truth. And we look forward to carrying on an effective and fruitful partnership with the Butler County Chamber of Commerce for many years to come. Thank you again for this recognition. It is very much appreciated.
Okay, so I have one funny story. Last night when Stephen was trying to repeat the last names, remembered it over in the corner, I walked over and started going, Diocese, just to screw him up. So I'm going to take a little bit of blame on that one. Where's Autumn Patterson at? You know I had to single you out. So Autumn works for Mars Bank, and she's very engaged with the chamber and leadership and several other organizations around the county, and there's no doubt she makes a difference. And she'll be the chair of this group in a few years, so thank you, Autumn. Oh, and look what we got here. Again, I'm going to tell Autumn what I told Mark. Stop taking pictures with me in public. I think there's also a surprise for Mackenzie too, but I don't want her to kill me. So I'll leave that one up to Adriana. So here's what I'm going to leave you with, a couple thoughts. The first, I made 2 bets tonight. One was we would be done at 8 o'clock. We're pretty close. Looks like I'm going to owe Roberta $100 though. Nice to see you. But I'm even because I also bet someone $100 that Nick Neuapuaer would reference someone from the Steelers. So we're good. What about the paper? Oh, Mark wants me to read what's on the paper here. Okay. Oh, this. Okay. Okay. Also, the official after party will be at North Country Brewing on Main Street. We have some North Country folks in the back. We should definitely go and support them and drink beer and be happy. So hope to see some of you there later. And Mark would like me to remind everyone, if your business does not have a koozie, it's time to get one. You want to be part of history, right? And I'll leave you with this. Stopped into my brother's office today before this, and there was a quote on his board, and it said, "Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking. And that was by William Butler Yeats. And I think as long as we keep striking, our county will continue to prosper. And we do have a year in review slideshow. So I'll direct your attention to the screen one more time. And I'm in a lot of the pictures, so no one say anything. I could sing, but I don't think no one might. They probably wouldn't come back next year. Okay, well, there's some ribbon cutting. Hey, there's me and Senator Hutchinson. In the middle picture is a 10-year anniversary of an insurance agent in Butler. Marcy's in a lot of these pictures too. I didn't tell her about this. There's me and Mark with the Easter Bunny, and there's me and Brian. He's the one redeveloping the Penn Theater, and the event to the left was with Armstrong. There's a lot of Mars Bank employees in those pictures, and the one on the left is a ribbon cutting. And there was big chicken suits. There's a picture of Jennifer. I really had to fight her to let me take it. There's an event at Highmark. And there's the Geyser Center folks pointing to the chamber banner. Picture a coffee club and another ribbon cutting. Ribbon cutting and our pre-legislative breakfast dinner. I'm not even sure where this one was at, but it looked good. The middle one is a two-time chairman of the chamber. We did a ribbon cutting for a reband. And there's Ave Jack. She was the Employee of the Year. Ribbon cutting, 5-year anniversary of the Spring Hill Suites, and another ribbon cutting. We did a lot of ribbon cuttings this year. It's a picture of a mixer, and we also did a community stakeholder tour at Concordia in Cabot. That's pretty self-explanatory. We did a tour at United Plate Glass, and there's the Harmony Inn. They were one of 25 restaurants in the country that received a federal grant to redo their sign and their facade of their building. And that's with the Arc of Butler County. And they knew to get me a polo. There's Cranberry Township's giant scissors. They're much better than ours, so I thought that was the better picture. And the other one is from a tour at Penn Christian Academy. One's from a tour at the Steam Fitters, and then we also cut the ribbon on Penn Energy's new corporate office, and Representative Shalaba is also in a good bit of these, so thank you for being active and coming out. Looks like a tour of Lutheran Senior Life Coffee Club at Print King, where they even printed a banner saying welcome chamber members, and then that's a ribbon cutting down in Cranberry with the famous Cranberry scissors. Dan, you're probably in there one more time, wherever you are. That's a mixer on the right. That was Fleming Insurance, ribbon cutting in the middle, and Univest, which Univest used their own scissors. I think they should have went with Cranberries. On the right is Armstrong. They were celebrating 60 years. And another ribbon cutting, they also used their own scissors, but there were 3 of them, and I'm actually sharing one with the mayor of Mars, which was cool. I've never shared big scissors with somebody. More ribbon cutting. There's an embarrassing photo of Kenny Bonus pointing to a tray of bananas. And the other one I just threw in because you can't tell, but I have flamingos on my shirt. That's the welcome for our golf outing, and what do you know? Another ribbon cutting. That's our youth leadership program with some of our speakers, and that was a visit to C.W. Howard Insurance. That was Ryan Holmes, Commissioner Boozle's there, and that was double whammy ribbon cutting. That was the rebrand for Farmers National Bank at their Bon Air office. We went out to Canahan's and visit their facility. This is a program with Slippery Rock University in the middle where they bring young alumni back in to work with current students, and that was when we went to Edward Jones and had a little sit down and learned a little bit about their organization. So I have a lobster on here with Congressman Kelly because we had Lobster Fest that night, but I drove by and they were doing something, so I figured I had to stop. And the other one is at Tom Rechtenwall Construction, his new renovation at his office in Zealy. Another ribbon cutting, and then there's the famous lobster shirt at Lobster Fest. If you haven't been to that, you really need to. That was a radio interview with Tyler Friel, and that was the EITC check presentation with Next Tier Bank for the Youth Leadership Program. That was when Tanya got here. We did a ribbon cutting on her first day. This was a tour of Kids Innovation Playground, and that is a ribbon cutting of a boutique clothing shop in the city of Butler. This is from our legislative breakfast. We had great turnout and great participants from our elected officials, and that is from a community event that I drug my brother into and didn't give him any details, and he got mad at me. That actually might be it. Speaking of ribbon cuttings, we do have 2 tomorrow, so if you're free, one's at 10, one's at 12. We also have one on Friday at about 4 o'clock at Back Home Barbecue and Brew. And hopefully we're going to have one in Middlesex soon. I've been a pest to do that. So, but thank you all for coming tonight. Timing's not bad, Roberta. It's 8:08. Maybe you can cut me some slack. But thank you all for attending. Hope to see you at North Country, and have a great finish to your year.